Welcome. In this video we are going to take a look at how you can install and configure Zabbix. So basically we have the front end, the back end, and the database where the monitored entities, or rather the data, lives. So for the database, what we are going to do is to install sudo su dnf install mysqld, and basically what we will use is the MySQL server for the installation. And this will download 38 megabytes of packages, and the total installed size is 195 megabytes, which is not that much. So what we also need from the database is to provide a schema for Zabbix itself, which it can in turn manage. And basically that's why we need some form of database. And after the MySQL is installed, what we have to do is to enable and start the service. We need to enable it because we want to make sure that if we restart our machine, it is going to be able to start it automatically. And we will start it because we don't want to restart the machine during this video. So let's accept it with yes. And once the installation is complete, we are going to use the systemctl command, which allows you to manage services on your CentOS machine. And after this is complete, what we will do is the following. We need to add the Zabbix repository. So systemctl enable mysqld and start mysqld. It takes some time depending on the resources that you give to your machine. So this is the command that allows you to install the repository. And once the repository is installed, we need to use the dnf clean all. And after that, Zabbix uses PHP 7.4, and the dnf module list PHP should give us information about the modules which are available for PHP, and we need to switch to the 7.4 version, because by default I think it's either the 7.2 or the 7.3, but we will see. So let's wait for this to complete. So we are almost there. Oh, that's the base OS, which also needs to repeat or update. So basically this dnf clean all cleaned up all the temporary or intermittent files which were present from previous installations, and now it fetches all this repository information. It just makes sure that we have the latest and greatest in the repository. So let's see. And all right, you can see that the 7.2 is there, and what we have to do is to use the dnf module switch -to php colon 7.4, and this will make sure that the 7.4 is the default. And as you can see, this is the enabled. And now we can use the dnf to install the dependency packages. We have the server MySQL, the web MySQL, the Apache, and so on. It will download further files for the installation. And once the download's complete, we have to set up MySQL. So for MySQL, we need to create the database, the user, grant the appropriate privileges, and then we can consider the setup completed. So let's wait for this to complete. It should be able to do it pretty soon. Yep, we are at the last two packages which are supposed to be downloaded. And yeah, what I also wanted to mention is that for the demonstration's sake, we can use the systemctl stop firewall-d and systemctl disable firewall-d. This is because we want to be able to reach the Zabbix web interface from not just the virtual machine, but from our host machine. So now we have this one, and just accept it with yes. And after the installation is complete, we will set up MySQL with the root user. So, yep, and it's running, and now it is complete. So we use the MySQL-u root, and now we are at the MySQL prompt. So first we create the database Zabbix, then we create a user and specify it with a password. Then we grant the privileges for that user. And then there is this logbean trust function creators that has to be set to 1. We will talk about this later. And we can leave the MySQL prompt. There is this command called zcat, and what it will do is to import initial schema and data. So we have to specify the password, which is the password. This is that we have specified for the Zabbix user. And basically, it will initialize the database. And once this is done, we have two more things that we need to do before we would check out the web interface. The first one is to edit the Zabbix server configuration file, and we need to specify the database password. But before that, MySQL-u root, we have to set this logbean trust function creators to 0 and leave it. So now we go to the etc Zabbix server.conf, and here on a line without hashtag or octotrope, we have to specify the DB password to be equal to password. Save it. And now we can use the systemctl restart on the Zabbix server, Zabbix agent, and the HTTPD and the PHP-FM. FPM, sorry. And we can also enable it, or enable these services. And if everything goes well, I'm going to open up a browser and go to the HTTP CentOS8 Zabbix. And voila, now we have to configure the database. So we go here for next. We can see that every prerequisite is now present. We have successfully swapped out the PHP version. And here we have to specify the MySQL connection. So basically we have to use the password which we specified, then go to the next, and yeah, we say that this is the CentOS8 machine, and I would like to use the dark theme. It's easier on the eyes. And the next step, and after we finish, we have to use the capital admin with the Zabbix as password and sign in. And basically that's it. So if we want to take a look at the interface or take a tour, you would see that currently we have one host, and this host is the Zabbix main server, and it is monitored with an agent, and the agent is connected to the localhost and so on. And if you select this server, we have something called the latest data, whatever the agent is sending. We will take a look at agents in more details, but so far this is all I wanted to show you in this video. See you in the next one.